Hi Jade, how are you today?
I'm seeing better days.
Better?
Yeah.
How come?
Today getting out of the morning rituals. I have two young girls, and getting them out of bed and getting them to school is nerve wracking at best. Um, I'm in a situation where I'm tired of fighting with them, but I also have to really push them to get to school so that, like, we've already taken a lot of absent days because they're just too late to get up, and I'm tired of barking at them to get stuff ready. So it's frustrating. It's very frustrating. I mean, the 8 and 10 are their ages. Whether or not that played a factor in it, I have no idea. But I'm at a loss as to what to actually do to get them motivated in the morning, right? Like, I'm not a morning person, but I still get up and I do what I got to do. But they're like dawdling and playing with stuff and whatnot, so it's very frustrating.
13. So they're just not wanting to be motivated to go to school. Sorry. Yes. So they're just not motivated to go to school.
Well, no, they like school. Don't get me wrong. They do like school. They just don't like getting up in the morning. So, like, we've already done a ritual where they get their clothes in the morning, and then, they do stuff. I get them breakfast, and then from there, that's when the bargaining begins. Come on, you got to get this, you got to get this, pack your lunch, do this, do this, do this, do this. And in all honesty, I don't think it's fair that I should be yelling at them all the time, right? I mean, this has been a common occurrence now since they were like 4, so they should know the routine by now. But it's kind of like I'm constantly having to, like, I'm a drill sergeant, right? And it frustrates me to do it, but I'm sure it must reflect on the girls too. You know what I mean? Like, or maybe they're just turning a deaf ear on me. You know what I mean? I'm caught in that situation where I don't want to be, for lack of a better word, Hitler, but I don't want to be, that kind of mom that the kids resent. Right?
So you don't want to be the kid that, mom that didn't.
Yeah, exactly. Like, all mom did was yell at us when we were kids. I don't want to be that mom.
I understand. Yeah, I understand. Just like the issue of not being motivated and not wanting to do that to your kids or to anybody. I'm sure. So how's your week been then? Besides just today?
Today is okay. So Tuesday, we weren't late Tuesday, but there was a lot of I don't know what is in my house that eats our socks. But there's something in the house that's in the girls' room that eats the socks, because I could buy socks after socks after socks, and they always seem to disappear. I don't know why, but it's always a fight to say, okay, where's your socks? And they're like, I don't know. Okay, well then, like, did you look like in your dresser? Yeah, there's none there. Well, what are you doing with them now? Like, are you eating them? Are you sending them away to Guatemala? What are you doing with them? So literally once a week I have to buy socks because there's a vortex.
So it's just an extra thing.
It's just an extra thing, like wear socks. Like in the summertime, summertime, they can wear sandals. It's not a big deal. But in the wintertime, you got to wear socks. And then there's the whole, is your uniform, because they go to a school that has like a uniform, Kathy Weaver, and is your uniform clean? So they'll come downstairs with like their uniform, I mean a shirt. They'll come down and it's like disgusting, and it's like, okay, did you even look at it? Like, and I'm sure I was the same way when I was a kid, but
especially to be on that side.
Exactly, like I can respect my mom now for, getting us out the door.
Definitely.
But I also learned independence by the time I was 8 years old too. So I was making my own lunches, I was doing my own laundry, and I seemed to I want to give the girls the independence that they learn how to do this. And I think their dad is kind of holding me back, saying, no, they're babies, just leave them. And it's like, no, they're not really babies. I mean, my oldest is prepubescent, so, she's got to learn. She's just, and not to be mean, she's lazy. She just doesn't have the ability to, or desire. She's artsy crafty.
Trying to balance.
No, she's too busy socializing on the media sites and everything, and then she just doesn't have time for me. In fact, like, that's also one of the huge things that interfere with our morning rituals. If I should be like, hang on a second, I gotta see if Isabel's going to school. It's like, I don't care if Isabel's going to school. You're going to school no matter what, because you're not going to see Isabel. So,
Yeah.
what's your deal? So, yeah, it's frustrating.
Yeah, I totally get that. Even just, although my situation's not the same, I get like living with my family and not understanding their perspective of things and trying to act where as much as you can give them leeway, you have to.
Also hold the reins.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I get that.
So, just how has school been going? I know you were talking about that before a few weeks ago.
School
Your
is
school.
my school.
Yeah.
Formerly known as your school too.
Yes.
My school, I was kind of leery about coming back after 15 years and can't see the forest for the trees kind of thing. But I think now I am getting into the groove.
That's good.
Sorry.
No worries.
Little Madonna on you. Yeah, so I'm starting to get, the hang of it and everything. It's like riding a bike. Once you ride a bike, you always know to ride. No, it's not true. Once you ride a bike, you got to remember the center of balance again and being able to pedal a bike. So, yeah, okay. Yeah, it's like that. But there's going to be, there's a learning curve to get back on a bike. Who never says that? Who never says there's a learning curve to get back on the bike again? Just like motivated. So, yeah, getting used to it. The girls are getting used to it. Everybody's getting used to it. Yeah.
So is that an issue for you, or
No.
is it going well? That's good.
No, I've tackled that demon. I know I'm good. Now I just got to tackle the demons that I like to call my daughters. Not really tackle them. You know what I mean? Just somehow get a strategy going because it's safe.
So from what I'm understanding is it's going pretty well, but
You just got to fine tune it.
Yeah, school's not as much of a stress anymore, but it's just trying to get your kids into a routine where they're listening and where they're respecting you as a mother, especially in the morning.
Yeah. So I got to get a plan in place.
So what have you done in the past to deal with things like this?
Take away their computer privileges, and that does a lot. It does an awful lot. Computers are lifeline.
Yes, for sure.
So,
Yes.
I mean,
Especially for your older girl.
Well, yeah, and the 8-year-old. But I mean, back when I was a kid, you went to your room and that was it. And now it's like you go to your room, they still have their iPads, they still have their. So it's like, okay, really. So you definitely have to, A, choose your battles, and B, see which one will affect them the greatest when it comes to taking away privileges.
So you seem like you have, as much as this as a stress, you do seem like you have a handle. As much as it's frustrating you, you do have definitely taking it calmly, and you see things that you can do and working on.
Yeah, exactly. I think the thing is to put the actions into plan. I mean, I've got an action plan, but I haven't followed through.
Okay.
So that's something that I have to do.
So how do you think you can just help yourself follow through?
It was funny. I was discussing this with a group of people yesterday, and I thought about a chart of some sort where there was checks and balances and a reward.
That was like a good idea.
Yeah, because eventually, getting ready to learn my oldest to learn how to do laundry, right? I mean, that's do it once a month, not a month, sorry, once a week. It's really stinky clothes. Once a week, get her to do her own laundry. Danica already knows how to do it because Danica's the domesticated one. She's the one that wants to learn how to make cookies and dinner and everything like that. While Ray is more like, no, I'm going to have a servant that does that too for me once a while. So
teenage.
oh, she's 10. She's pre-10. Yeah, she's preteen, but yeah, she's doesn't want to have any kids and wants to be served hand and foot, which she's pretty close to getting right now. That's got it. It's not favoritism. It's more like if I don't give it to her, then she'll go hungry.
Yeah.
So, you know, Ray, take your bowl into the kitchen. You're closest to it. You take it in. That's not the point. It's your bowl. It's your responsibility to put it in the sink to do the dishes. You know. So I don't know. So I'm thinking to check.
Exhausting, just trying to keep up with.
It's not really exhausting to keep up with them. Well, yeah, okay, there are times when it is, but this is more frustration of the fact that I have to repeat myself
Definitely, yeah.
redundantly. You know what I mean? Like, who was it? Hemingway? Not Hemingway. Who was it? Albert Einstein says. What did he say? Redundancy is doing the same thing and expecting a different outcome. Something like that. And I can totally understand it. It's like I do the same thing every day, and it's always the same thing. So something's got to give. So I'm thinking a flow chart will.
I think that's a really good idea.
I think so too.
I think that's definitely an easier way to apply what you're trying to do.
And now it's tangible,
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
So they see it.
So in today's session, we've realized that the stress of just keeping up with your kids and trying to balance out what you're trying to do and then listening to you and your frustration with that is a big stress right now. But at the same time, you have realized the way to apply it and the way to change. And I think that's definitely the next step.
Yes,
You're supposed to do.
I would agree with you wholeheartedly.
Well,
Well, thank you.